Grandpa Badfinger's coterie of handlers is scrambling to find a way to salvage the sinking candidacy of their scrambled candidate. Do I look like a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters? And what they have come up with is this: Donald Trump caused these riots because he refuses to say the name of the various criminals whose misconduct initiated the series of events that allegedly led to the riots. Let's put aside the fact that Trump has almost certainly mentioned some or all of the names of these people in his myriad interviews, speeches, and tweets, because, as we know, objective reality is a bourgeois conceit that has no place in leftists' discourse. The simple fact is that the real name that shall not be spoken is the one that must be spoken if we are ever to stop the leftist violence. Trump must demand that Biden say the name Antifa. Let's be clear that the say his name thing is painfully dumb, the kind of faux earnest whine you get from college sophomores who grew up without religion, feel they must fill their empty souls with something, and choose to do so with hack cliches. If Trump did say, probably for the umpteenth time, Jacob Blake, the guy was still a wanted sex offender with a knife who fought with the cops and was going into a van where he could have stashed a gun or which he could driven off in with 3 kids. Saying his name does not reach back through time to allow Blake to make better choices, like, not sexually assaulting people or not refusing to obey the cops when they are pointing guns at him. We saw this same tiresome flex back in the 80s when the left decided that the cause of the AIDS epidemic was not people continuing to have unsafe sex long after the entire culture became fully aware that unsafe sex led to infection with the then incurable, and inevitably fatal virus. No, it was Ronald Reagan not speaking the words AIDS that did it. Apparently, this was the predecessor of the same school of science that holds that people in leftist protests are immune from the Chinese virus. In any case, it was stupid then and it's stupid now. Why is this? Yeah, sure, they're looting the target because Trump didn't utter the words George Floyd. Now, the rioters don't care about George Floyd or Jacob Blake or any of the other criminals or criminal-adjacent folks involved in these rare incidents. It's obvious, so obvious that no one even bothers to pretend that they have anything to do with this political violence anymore. What it is about is a mix of fun, because chaos is fun, and crime, because looting is fun too, and politics, because Democrats think that if there is enough chaos you will blame the guy the rioters are all shouting about. Understand that the Democrats want this, and that liberal groups are encouraging and funding this, all in a failing effort to intimidate Americans into tossing out Trump and restoring the failed liberal establishment to power. No, the name that must be mentioned is Antifa, the armed wing of the Democrat Party. Whoever wrote Biden's tepid tweets and his eunuch-like statement decrying the generic violence, as if it was a bunch of Trump voters taking time off work to torch the local bowling alley, carefully avoided that word. So does the media. Listen to the mainstream media and the only time you hear the word Antifa is when some talking head, or talking tater, on CNN is haranguing people stuck in airports about how Antifa does not exist. Usually they are doing a stand-up shot in front of a building that Antifa is in the process of setting on fire. These people are no longer bothering to make the effort of gaslighting us, now they're just lighting us, and all this is super awkward considering that the dirtbag who killed the patriot in Portland calls himself 100% Antifa. Biden speaking the truth is actually important, a demonstration that he can correctly identify the culprit. That is the first step to crushing these street terrorists. But he refuses to, meaning he cannot or will not accept that the left is the wrongdoer. Without accepting that he can't stop the leftists' violence, worse, it means he will probably blame us patriots, what with our provocative desire to elect the candidate we choose, liking cops, and having weapons to defend ourselves. When Oldfinger refuses to say Antifa, what he is really doing is telegraphing that he will refuse to act to stop the violence. And since what is rewarded gets repeated, look for even more leftist violence after January if he wins, with whoever is actually running the country. Joe will be 25th Amendmented out faster than Bill Clinton seeks out a massage from a nearby teen, persecuting us for trying to protect ourselves. Hey, we've seen the template with Dem mayors and governors in blue cities across the country. The reality is that a Biden/Harris White House would take this disaster national. Trump, along with us, should get out there and demand that Biden say the name of the culprit, Antifa. But Biden can't, because Antifa is an ally. He's too weak, and frankly too senile, to pull off a sister soldier moment and attack a radical friend to appear to be moderate. There's no stomach in the Dem elite for moderation. And normal people know it and will be voting accordingly. Say it, you schmuck. Antifa, the source of the violence. Oh, and BLM too, you need more Kurt in your life. Get my new non-fiction book The 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump, and You, now in audiobook format as read by the great Tony Katz. You can get my newly non-fiction novels And They Used to Be Fiction, about America split in two because of leftist scumbaggery, and of the other entries in the best-selling series, People's Republic, Indian Country, Wildfire, and the latest, Collapse. Also check out my Town Hall VIP podcast, Unredacted every Monday, as well as my new Hugh Hewitt-affiliated Salem podcast, Fighting Words. My super secret email address is kurt.schlichter@townhall.com. Let's block Cad.
Show your love for him. Click the link in description. Thanks for watching.